call this meeting to order. If you'll all please stand, and we'll say the Pledge of Allegiance, and we'll have a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, thank you. I need a motion, a second, and a vote to approve the agenda.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor? Thank you. And for the first report we have is the Board of Education student representative for the high school, Miss Madeline Washington.
All right. Good evening, members of the board, staff, students, and families. For those of you that do not know me, I'm Madeline Washington, the student representative of the Farmington School District Board of Education and the president of National Honor Society at Farmington High School. I want to share with you some of the district's most amazing opportunities offered to students. But first, I'd like to give you a rundown of what the Superintendent Student Advisory Council is planning. The SSAC is a district program that allows students from each building to connect with peers and come up with viable solutions to problems that students face each day. So I'd like to welcome to the stage Zeke Zicker, a member of the SSAC.
Hello, I'm Zeke Zicker, as she said, and I just want to share with you what the SSAC has been doing lately and what we're going to do moving forward. So yeah, the SSAC met today, this Tuesday, and discussed several important pieces of information. First, the council filled out a superintendent feedback form in which they shared their ideas with the prospective superintendent in hopes of strengthening communication across the district between students and staff. Student voices matter, as we all know, and any new superintendent should be open to foreseeing these ideas and trying to implement them for the better of both student and staff experience. As we discussed problems and ideas, many members came forward with strong ideas to increase engagement and, as a result, increase scores and experiences for both parties in the classroom. One example was a couple of students came forth with a crucial problem: application to real life. If students are aware of how subjects directly affect them, their futures, and the benefits they get from learning these things, engagement will skyrocket, as is evident in more life-applicable subjects like personal finance or like college classes that they're going to go study in college and enter the workforce using. As we discussed this topic, it became more and more evident how crucial it is to implement a solution to this in every class. And we continued the meeting today with coming up with multiple viable solutions for all the problems we discussed. This discussion and these efficient talking and communication methods, efficient problem-solving methods, would not have been possible without the students and staff in the meeting today. And Dr. Gibbs and all the other involved district staff have done an amazing job listening to, learning, and helping solve the everyday problems that teachers and students face. And they are currently doing a great job of collaborating with students to create and execute action plans to grow and improve the Farmington R7 School District. Thank you.
Thank you, Zeke, so much. The district is committed to ensuring that each student is college and career ready. Whether students are planning to attend college, go straight to the workforce, or explore their options post-graduation, the Farmington School District is here to support them. For students interested in becoming future educators, the district, with the help of many local organizations such as Mineral Area College, is providing these students with the opportunity to get in the field of education early. Personally, I joined the Future Teachers of America Club at FHS when I was a sophomore. I shadowed a former history teacher, Mr. Michael Bowles, at Farmington High School. The experience allowed me to get into classrooms and discover my true passion for teaching. Future Teachers of America is a club that allows those interested in education to tour colleges like Southeast Missouri State University, the University of Missouri-Columbia, and the University of Missouri-St. Louis, just to name a few. Through this club, I found my future college and career path. I'd like to welcome Mrs. Shannon Clevey, FTA's backbone, to speak more about the club and the education courses she teaches at FHS.
Hello, I'm Shannon Clevey. I'm a teacher at Farmington High School. I'm going on year 27, and so I feel like I have some wisdom to share to students that want to become future teachers. So about 6 years ago, I suggested to Dr. Lamont that we start offering some classes for just that. Our state is in a position where we are in a teacher shortage, as you guys know. And so I thought it was really important that we go ahead and start the conversation early to those that would like to maybe to go into the education field or find out that they don't want to go into the field, either or, you know. And so I try really hard not to talk anybody out of it, but we do talk a lot about exploring the education field and what it's all about. They do get the opportunity to shadow teachers. We've had teachers that are willing to open up their classroom to students that want to come in and shadow and see what a whole day looks like, which has been really eye-opening for them. We offer 3 different classes, beginning teaching 1, beginning teaching 2, and then we offer a dual credit class through MAC or CMO. CMO gives credit as well, in addition to MAC. Roughly, we've had almost 100 students go through in the past 5.5 years that I've been doing this. And we even have a couple that are teachers already, one in Fredericktown, one up in Windsor. I know of a couple more that are starting their student teaching or involved in their student teaching now. I can't say that we've kept all 100, but we've kept a lot involved in the education field, and that's been really exciting that they're continuing on with that. We've also been involved in Future Teachers of America, the club, which gets involved other students that maybe aren't taking the classes, and so they're able to participate that way. We've also been involved in a Grow Your Own grant program. We've been involved in a cohort with other Southeast Missouri teachers that are involved in the same situation, wanting to get those kids involved in those classes that want to be teachers, keeping them kind of close, keeping their hands on them. Hopefully they go to school, graduate, and then they can come back and teach in the school district that they left. So that is a real Grow Your Own program. We've also been lucky enough to receive some grant money for the past 4 years for that. Unfortunately, that grant money no longer exists. But we were able to provide some scholarships for kids that were wanting to go in the education field, which has been really cool to get them started off on the right foot with that. So I normally, my day job, I say, is American government, but I'm able to teach these beginning teaching classes 1 hour a day, which is really exciting because that's how, I love getting those kids off on the right feet. So it's been exciting. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Clevey. Future Teachers of America has inspired many students to become educators someday. In addition to FTA and the courses offered at FHS, the district did not stop there. The Missouri Apprenticeship/Youth Apprenticeship Program offered to upperclassmen at Farmington High School allows future educators to actually work in the district or place them in schools that support learning. This program employs several dual credit students in our district, strengthening FSD's partnership with Mineral Area College in more areas than academics. In my own experience, I joined the MIRE program as a junior and sought employment at the Mineral Area College Early Learning Academy. Since January of 2025, I've been an apprentice at the ELA, learning to care for students ages 2 through 5 years old. I love my position at the ELA and the work family I am blessed to have. My students are the highlight of my day, and I have learned so much from them. The MIRE program even covered tuition for one of my MAC courses last semester. The program makes it possible for me to afford higher education while attending FHS and gives me firsthand experience in the field of education and beyond. I'd like to welcome Mrs. Jaden Skaggs, the apprenticeship coordinator at Mineral Area College, to discuss the details of the program and how it is shaping careers and providing opportunities for students everywhere.
Hello, my name name's Jane Skaggs, as Miss Maddie, as my daughter likes to call her because she is at the ELA. I'm the apprenticeship coordinator at Mineral Area College, and I am here to talk about something that I'm incredibly passionate about, and that is the Mineral Area Youth Apprenticeship, or MIA, like she mentioned. About a year and a half ago, MAC, in consortium with other Missouri community colleges and Central Methodist University as our four-year partner, we're joined together on a $3.9 million grant called the MOSEP Work Grant, which is Missouri Southeast Pathways to Work. It was designed to expand pre-apprenticeship and apprenticeship opportunities in the region of fields of manufacturing, healthcare, and education. While all three are important, education quickly stood out because there was and continues to be a teacher shortage in our local districts. And so from that need, MIA was born. It was created with one simple goal, which was to give students a meaningful head start on their future, not just exposure to different careers or more information about different careers, but rather experience in actually doing them. Too often, I think students are asked to make life-shaping decisions about careers without ever stepping into the workplace, and so MIA changes that. Through this program, high school students, ideally beginning in their junior year, have the opportunity to work as teachers' aides in the local districts that they are in, or, as Maddie mentioned, the Mineral Area College Early Learning Academy. They're doing real work in the classrooms with real responsibilities and continuing their own education. We pay them a wage, they earn high school credit, and they earn college credit toward their Associate of Arts in Teaching all at the same time. They're not just learning about education as a career, but they're living it because they're getting to work on their day-to-day. The greatest benefit of MIA to me is clarity. Students discover what they love, and equally as important, what they don't love. And instead of graduating high school, spending 2, 3, even sometimes 4 years in college, and then going into student teaching and deciding that the classroom is not where they should be, MIA gives them the clarity early on. Another major benefit is skill development. They follow a structured work process schedule where they do on-the-job learning tasks to build technical and professional skills. So yes, they learn instructional strategies and classroom management methods, but beyond that, they learn soft skills like communication, accountability, time management, etc. They learn what it means to clock in on time, turn their timesheets into me on time, problem solve, collaborate with a team, and take the initiative on their own. They're skills that will serve them ultimately no matter what path they choose. So they may not choose to be teachers in the future, and that's perfectly okay. That's what this program is meant for them to learn, if they want to or not. There's also powerful financial advantages. In the MIA program, we hire them on as part-time employees of Mineral Area College. So fill out all the paperwork, become an employee, and they earn a wage the first year, making minimum wage, and then the second year of the program, they get a pay increase. As Maddie mentioned, we also pay tuition for one dual credit class to get them started. We know that not every student can take every class that is needed to earn their AAT right off the bat during high school and graduate before high school. And so we try to help lessen that financial burden a little bit for them. They gain professional experience without sacrificing their extracurricular opportunities because they are allowed to work during their school day. And so this is built into their schedules. And if not, and they want to do it after school, that's an option too. They're earning while they're learning without accumulating debt is the whole goal. So it's not just a win for students, but our local districts and the region as a whole. It strengthens the workforce pipeline, keeps our talent local, and builds partnerships. And it also allows the districts to invest in students who may very well become their future teachers. When students succeed, the schools succeed, and when our schools succeed, our communities thrive. And so that's what the heart of MIA is about, and believing in young people early and making a difference, giving them confidence and the opportunity before they ever even graduate high school to decide what they want to do. I witnessed amazing stories personally of local youth in this area. My daughter has benefited from this program because these teachers are with her every day in the classrooms, and we currently have 10 apprentices that serve out of Farmington High School with 2 additional in the pipeline serving 7 districts. And I can't wait to see how many more lives change because of this program. Thank you.
you so much for coming out tonight, Mrs. Skaggs. You make such a difference. Finally, I would like to invite FHS senior Sophie Kreider up to the podium. This exceptional student is taking dual credit courses, an upstanding leader at FHS, a member of the FHS Student Council, and a member of the Maya program. Tonight, she will tell you about her experiences as an apprentice and how the Farmington School District is preparing her for college and a future career.
Hello. So I started this program in August of this year, and even though I've been in this program for 7 months, I truly believe that the Maya program is a great opportunity for anyone who's considering becoming a teacher. The program's goal is to give students a real look into what it is like to be a teacher by giving them a list of tasks to complete. From doing simple tasks like taking attendance to making lesson plans, it gives you a variety of day-to-day tasks that teachers regularly accomplish. It can also give you an idea of what age group you prefer and subject you enjoy teaching. Reflecting on my time in this program, I have gained many skills that I never even realized would benefit me in the future. For example, when I first started, I was extremely nervous when I had to start talking to the big group of kids. I was afraid I would say the wrong thing or accidentally teach them the wrong way of doing a lesson. By having more experience of talking in group settings, I have grown more confident while also getting a better understanding of what the curriculum looks like. This program also gave me perspective. I used to think that teaching was only about following the curriculum and educating kids the best you can. But you cannot effectively teach kids unless you take the time to build relationships with them. And if I have to be honest, I definitely did not understand that at first. So when I first started doing group work with the kids, they were not very receptive to what I was saying to them, and with how nervous I was, it just was not a very productive lesson. But I've definitely progressed, and that is what I think is so important about the program. You learn so much about yourself and what your teaching style will be like in the future. I'm currently working on reading and writing with 3rd graders. With that being said, I quickly learned that students' learning styles differ from one another, which I had a general idea that some students work well using different techniques and vice versa. But I had no idea how different everyone was and how accommodations work with each student. With some students being in comprehension programs and some students just having a hard time understanding, it's overwhelming trying to figure out what students' needs are. And the Maya apprenticeship gives high school students a kickstart on understanding concepts we think we understand, but we truly have no idea how much more difficult it is. This program has so many benefits that it is difficult for any future teacher to pass up. When I first started the program, I was slightly cautious because it did seem too good to be true to me, and I was waiting for some sort of catch to come along with it. But I seriously cannot recommend this program enough to students who are considering a path in education, because I have never been more positive on becoming a teacher than I am now. Thank you.
Thank you, Sophie, for sharing. If you would like to learn more about the Maya program, there are pamphlets. There's a tissue box on top because the wind was kind of knocking them everywhere. I also provided you all with the pamphlet, board members. I hope that you guys learned a little bit more about the amazing opportunities offered for future educators at the district and at the high school. And thank you all so much for listening tonight.
Okay, so thank you, Sophie, and Jaden, and Shannon, and Zeke, and Madeline. Next, I need approval of the minutes of the January 20th, 2026 regular board meeting. Motion, second, and vote. All those in favor? Okay, no opposition. All right, now we have some communication from Mindy Southern, our director. And she's going to introduce the Black Knight Inside graduates.
I'm going to go ahead and have them come up on the stage if they wouldn't mind. I might have you just stand. So tonight we have the opportunity to recognize this group of individuals. And I'm very thankful that I've had the opportunity to meet each and every one of them. These people chose to lean in and learn a lot more about our school district and how it operates. The Black Knight Insight program is designed to provide an inside look at how our schools operate, from finance and facilities to curriculum, safety, transportation, and student programs. Each month, this group of individuals gave up a day of their life to spend it with us, and we appreciate that. And they spent a full day to visit our campuses, ask questions, and engage in thoughtful conversation. And I'm going to point out that they did not sit quietly, not this group at all. They asked strong, important questions, they challenged us in productive ways, they sought clarity, and they wanted to understand not just what we do, but why we do it the way that we do. That kind of engagement strengthens our school system, and transparency only works when there are people like them who show up and participate, and we're thankful that they did exactly that. What I appreciate most is that this was not one-sided at all. Like I said, while they were learning about us, we were learning from them. And this is our second Black Knight Insight group. Last year was our inaugural year, and we decided to make it a little bit different this year and make sure that there were more opportunities for us to learn from the participants, and we did. So while they were learning about us, we were learning from them, their perspectives, their experiences, and that feedback helped us to see our work through our community's lens. And that was a really important piece of this Black Knight Insight. I want to thank especially our administrators, our teachers, Ms. Buchanan up here, support staff, and all of the students who helped make each session meaningful, because we had to invade their space each month to be able to do this. So they were opening their classrooms, offices, buses, kitchens, and workspaces requires preparation. And let's be honest, they had to be very vulnerable to have a group of individuals come in. And they modeled professionalism and pride in their work. To our Black Knight Insight participants, thank you for investing your time, your curiosity, and your trust in us. We are better because you chose to be a part of this experience. And we have a little video to show. If you guys will maybe split the stage a little bit so that they can, and then we have plaques to give out.
Behind the scenes and just asking a lot of questions. I don't know, it was fun. I had fun learning and talking and getting to know people in the community that I didn't also know before then.
They're offering our kids things that are going to prepare them for the future. All the tools, even what's helping with their mental health. I think it's just things that they're going to be able to carry for a lifetime.
And I think this program was really fun. It was fun once a month, not something you dread going to or anything. The group was fun. They kept it flowing.
what the school does, what their mission is, what some obstacles they have in hitting those goals. So I think it's a great opportunity to learn.
All right, and at this time, we're going to present you with your plaques. If you guys will go ahead and stand back in the center. Again, can't thank these people enough for giving up their time. I will tell you, if you're interested in participating in this program next year, there's an interest form in the print magazine that was mailed out, or you feel free to contact me at the school district, and we'll be putting those out, those applications out soon, I'm sure. So at this time, I'd like to recognize each participant. When we call your name, if you would come up, and Dr. Gibbs will hand you your plaque. So first up, Tara Hernandez Acevedo. Christopher Reyes. Jamie Bruni. Ali Tebow. Alex Stacy. Chris Morrison. Natalie Kaufman. Sonia Wilson. Michelle Cloudis. Did I see the Schweisses? Jennifer Schweiss and Eric Schweiss also participated. Stephanie Cabrera. Kristen Johnson. Mark Heisel. And Jenny Blankenship. Thank you once again for participating, and our school district is better off because you did. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Kevin Engler, I believe you're up next to explain the election consolidation.
Sorry, I just want to point out that this was made by the robotics team in the high school. So it's a really good job.
Thank you for the opportunity to come and speak before you tonight. I'll be talking to you. I'll also talk to the audience if anybody from either body has any questions afterwards. I'll be happy to answer. We're changing elections. Most of you heard we started talking about it. We talked to over 20 groups, chambers, cities, school districts about the reason for it and what's going to happen, and it's going to happen next month. So first, we had a problem for years. I kind of thought we'd be sued before we changed, but we haven't been. 8 of our 21 precincts aren't ADA compliant, and they haven't been for years. And in a lot of places, we have no other alternative of where to host it. And if we close one down, like Eldon's, in a basement, we don't have another alternative. We have to move it in Park Hills City Hall, which is already overcrowded. So, second factor that's happening that caused these changes is we needed new equipment. All of our computers, the things that process the votes were 16 years old, and as you're familiar, if you've got a computer that's 16 years old, they wouldn't even upgrade them anymore after last year to bring them up to standard. So we had to buy new equipment. We decided not to buy old technology. The equipment we bought enables us to go ahead and print the ballots at the site. And when you check in, like you have checked in, I know you all vote, and you give the ID and they put it in the thing, and then they confirm it, you touch it, you confirm that's you, then they turn around and go get the ballot from the folder. Now, we will be able to print it. It takes 3.5 seconds to print. So what that lets us do is you can vote in any voting center. So we've established the one on Weber Road that has been, and about 35 to 40% of the people vote there early. COVID caused a lot of people to change their patterns, and we got people to vote there. That's why we didn't have block-long lines like they did in St. Louis, because we got more people to vote early. We're going to continue to try to get people to vote early, and I would recommend that you all try to push people on your bond issue to vote early. In November, there was a survey that only 80% of the people that fully intended on voting the week before actually voted. They got busy, kid got sick, they got sick, something came up. 20% difference in the voting is a huge difference. If you've got a group of people that are very positive toward your bond issue proposal, then you want them to have voted. If you're running for the board, you want your people to get out and vote. So we're going to keep doing that, but we're going to set up the centers in what was formerly the Centene Center, now First State Bank Community Center. Will be one of the locations. The college in their new first building on the right, and North County High School in their practice facility that's in back, because we can segment that off from the population. We're going to be able to get parking right by the building and vote there. So we're going to be voting in those locations, and what that will do, and one of the reasons I'm here, is hopefully you will be able to communicate this to your workforce. You're one of the top 20 employers in the county, and this past month I started going to the employers, and we've created social media, we've created electronic ads, QR code to tell everybody where these locations and all of that, because you're not going to be voting at the Armory. There will be no voting there, or the Baptist church, or whatever. So you go there, and you're going to see a sign saying this is no longer a voting spot, and have a QR code and show it. But what it will enable you to do, for example, if you've got teachers that live in Terre de Lac and drive here and teach, it allows them to go ahead and vote if it's more convenient at the Civic Center, or at the college on their way home. The hospital, over half their workforce doesn't live in Farmington. So when you work 12-hour shifts, it's very difficult to take the time away. So they're going to market it. Some of our largest employers, First State Bank, U.S. Tool, they're going to be marketing to their employees saying, this is where you will vote. We want to get the word out. One of the other things we have difficulties, we have to have over 225 active poll workers. Used to be when back in the 50s and 60s, when mom stayed home and dad went to work, and they all got together and worked the polls, and everybody volunteered, and they would make lunch and have a little gathering there. That's great. That's not happening anymore. To get retired people to work 15 hours per day, and in the April election, in some of our polls, work 15 hours a day to see 30 or 40 people vote all day in that particular precinct, it's difficult to get people to do. We constantly battle with it. We'll be able to vote this with about 60% of the workers. Now, does that mean we're going to have the same amount of people at the Civic Center or the Centene Center or First State? No, we will have 10 to 15 voting stations, and we will print the ballots at the time. We currently, with all the things that are on the ballots and the different geographic locations of where people are, maybe they're in Doe Run, so they vote for the Farmington School Board, but they do not vote for the extension of the tourism tax in Farmington. There's almost 80 different ballots. When I have to pay to print those, it's thousands. I mean, 15, 20, 30,000, depending upon the combination, how many we have to have. You can't run out of ballots. So, and then you have to pay them because we have such poor turnout. We only average in April about 10% turnout. We have to pay to have them shredded after that when you don't use them. This, there will be no shredding because you will only print a ballot when somebody appears, and once that ballot's printed, there is no other ballot can be printed at any of the other 3 stations. Now, all of your people that are on the board here cannot go and vote in Bismarck or Leadwood, but if you are from Leadwood or Bismarck, we're keeping those, because they're more than 5 miles away. We're a unique county. 80% of our population is between 2 miles north of Bonne Terre, 2 miles south of Farmington, 2 miles either way. That's why I had the ladies that work for me analyze where the voters come from, and we try to create, I got a couple cities mad because we didn't put one, we spread them out based upon where the populations were, not where the city boundaries were. And if it would have been perfect, if we would have had a gym about Bonne Terre exit. That would have been almost perfect distribution. But we didn't. North County High School was the closest location we could get, and that's what we're doing. One of the other things that people ask, well, the other thing, you have to have a voting machine for the blind at every precinct. With 21, they're $3,800. I have to buy those new this year too. The difference between buying 6 and it's over $50,000 just for that particular purchase. This will save us about $25,000 to $30,000. When I say us, I'm talking about taxpayers, whether it's through the school or the city that's paying for it, or the state or the county that's paying for it, or 911 or the ambulance district. It will save us about $25,000 to $30,000 every election, and in a year like this, it's about $100,000 in savings. So that's kind of where we're at. We want to get the word out. So if we can help you with any of our materials by showing people where to vote and that they should vote, is not advertising it's not promoting it's perfectly legal, because you're showing them where you can vote, not to vote yes or no, and all of our materials qualify under that. Be happy to answer any questions. Oh, also, I should put it, in November and August, it will let us have a uniformed officer at every location. It's getting worse and worse. People get threatened. I won't take off my hat. You can't make me, and you're threatening an 85-year-old lady. But if there's a uniformed officer present, we don't have that problem. So we're going to do that. We can't do that at 21 locations. We can with just those. So those are the notes I made, but I'd be happy to answer any questions from here or here.
So is there a difference in our election and the bill whenever we get the bill for that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Now, it's not going to be a huge difference, but what we're going to do is just for the finances, we're going to spread the cost on this and a scale of over a 10-year period for all the equipment. Okay. Now, I've been putting money in the budget, so we didn't have to come up with any more money from that end of it, but we will spread out the payments over 10 years to you all. That's how we will base them. In St. Louis City, they do it over a 5-year period. I think we can squeeze out maybe 12 or 15 years. I'll be dead by then, so it won't matter to me. But that's kind of what with 10 years will give us enough time to go ahead and buy new equipment. It's a good question. Anybody?
So Kevin, what's the first early voting date?
Great question. Next Tuesday. Next Tuesday is the day you file for the August elections for House of Representatives or county office. It's also the day of the first voting for early elections. Now, the first 4 weeks of early elections, we have to, because on the computer, in order to fill that screen in, when you give us your ID, what's the reason for you voting early? 95% of people say, I don't know if I'm going to be there. I don't know if I'm going to be there either. But none of us know that we're going to be there, so we never say, you sure you're not going to be there? That's not our job. The last 2 weeks on the computer doesn't even matter. It's just, okay, here's your ID. You don't have to tell us why you're going to do that. That's no excuse valid. But the 6-week period starts then. The last Saturday, we are always open from 8 till noon. Surprisingly, we vote quite a few now in August and November. Unfortunately, April, we don't have very good turnout. We have, and it depends upon, last year we'll have a better turnout because we had several major mayor races. We had several fire district races. We had, several things that were on the ballot. What we'd really like to do is see if we can get up to 15% of the registered people and only 80% of the people that are eligible are registered. So when you think about that, the money that is being spent locally people should have an interest in, but they don't. So we're trying to, hopefully, that if we can make the polling places closer to where they're working, to make it convenient that they just pop in, that would be helpful. Other?
Well, so that you can vote early at every site?
No. You only vote early on the Weber Road location. That's the only one that says our election center. And it is sometimes, like in the first couple weeks, 2 people vote a day, 5 people vote a day, and then as it gets closer, you get up to 10. Then we have to bring in outside poll workers. My staff can do it in the first part because there's not that much activity, except people that are going to be out. They already know they're going to be on vacation that day, and they want to make sure they vote. After the day of the election, that's when the voting centers will take place.
Weber Road is open early, or is it open on election day?
It's open on election day also.
Okay.
I have to keep, by law, I have to keep election center open there in case there's a problem with one of the sites. And almost every April, some sites get shut down around the state because that's storm season. And you remember 2 years ago, I had to shut down Iron Mountain Lake because it was raining so hard and flooding, we couldn't get across the dam there. And the water was up to the back door of the VFW. And then it quit raining, so we're going to have to shut down the VFW. If that's the case, then we have to give them an alternative. Now, in the past, the only alternative was my office because that's the only one that could vote anybody in the county. But now they'll be able to go to any of the other 3 because all the places will be able to vote anybody in the county. Anybody? Question? Tell some people if you would help us. I've been to countless. We've had 6 articles in the paper. We've had numerous radio, been on Cody's deal several times talking about it again this weekend, but still every day people say, well, I didn't know we were changing voting this. So we still have to do a good job getting it. And in particular, if you've got an issue on your ballot, it would behoove you to make sure that people know where they need to go, and if they can get there early, that's really helpful. When I do consulting some on elections, I tell them you need to get your people there early and get them out and get them in the box. Then you don't have to worry about it that day. If it's raining and they don't want to. And also for the seniors, the voting on Weber seems to work very, very well. They have more time. They can come and get a sample ballot a couple days before, and then you let them cheat off their own sample ballots and take the time if they need a half an hour. If they need somebody to read the ballot, we'll do that. So it's really a good place. If you don't have a ride, because some places are walking. Both SMTS and Life will pick you up for free and take you to the poll and bring you home, hopefully. I forgot to ask about last week. So we're going to take you home. So anyway, that's where they're at. It may not, if it doesn't work, we will open more spots, but we've spent a lot of time trying to get this ready. This is the way it really needs to go. It's more efficient, costs a lot less, and we can supervise a little better. When we have 20-something locations, I only have 3 full-time people. I can have them in my locations. And you'll be able to change your address at the polling site with these new machines. We changed 4,000 addresses last November in one day, the day of the election. That's why you can't even get a hold of our people at the office that says you got a line and people changing addresses. This you'll be able to change the address, and I'll have my full-time people at these places, so they'll be able to do it. Okay? Thank you for your time. If you guys got any questions, or if you want that material to send out to your staff and just or whatever, you can put it on any publications. We don't care. We just want to get the word out. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Kevin. We appreciate you coming. Okay, next we have some student voices from Washington Franklin Elementary. Heather Weiss, and she has some students to introduce to us. And then she and Jennifer Mentier have some recognitions, Heartland Hero and Featured Teacher.
I was sitting there thinking, man, I wish I would have videoed them today when when we checked in with them in the office because they were all so excited and were like rattling off all kinds of things they wanted to share. And I know that the nerves may have set in, but they do have some little things written down and typed up to share with you. Our focus at Washington Franklin this year has been our student engagement and our students kind of owning their learning. So we ask some students from each grade level to share some of their favorite learning experiences or favorite activities within their classrooms. I think they all have set in their little written parts that they have. They're going to introduce themselves. So I will let them kind of introduce themselves as we get on the line, okay?
My name is Jet Morgan. I go to Washington Franklin. I'm in 3rd grade. My teachers' names are Miss Gershner and Miss Cooper. Math and science are my favorite subjects. I like to do my math work all on my own. Science experiments are my favorite because they are so interesting. Again, my name is Jet Morgan and I am from Washington Franklin.
Hi, my name's Liam. I go to Washington Franklin and I am in 4th grade. My teachers are Mrs. Hovis and Mrs. Voss. I love reading because it helps me discover really good books. My favorite part of reading workshop is independent reading. The literate workboard helps me respond to my reading. We are reading because of Winn-Dixie and I really like it.
My name is Reagan Nash. I am in Miss Sutton's 2nd grade class. My favorite thing about Washington Franklin is that each teacher has interactive games. Library is my favorite subject. Math is my 2nd favorite subject. Well, if we're not counting lunch. At Washington Franklin, I love my class and I'm happy to be a part of it.
She had written on there, bow and claps.
Hi, my name is Kyrie and I'd like to begin with a joke. What did the ghost teacher say to the class? Look at the board and I'll go through it again. There are some things I like about Washington Franklin. First, my elective classes. They are fun and give me hobbies. Art is my absolute favorite. Another thing I like is the teachers. Miss Morris was a fun 3rd grade teacher. Mr. Lee is my current homeroom teacher. And Miss Moreland is a great math teacher. I am also a member of Character Council. I got to participate in the parade, and we also put on a Christmas play this year, and I loved it. My last 4 years, in the end, Washington Franklin has been a great place to spend my last 4 years. I will miss all the fun I had while here. Thank you for your time.
That was a great example of the writing components that our 4th graders are learning because she sat down with her ELA instructor and went through all the things that they should include in their speech. She did a great job at that. All right, one last friend from 1st grade.
My name is Lila Smith. I am in 1st grade, and my teachers is Miss Bland. Reading and math are my favorite subject. I love to read by myself and log my minutes on Beanstack. In math, I love to add numbers and I use paper to help me solve my math problems. I always also like playing outside at recess.
Thank you. So very proud of all of these friends. I know it's hard to get up here in a big group of people, in front of a big group of people, But like I said, they were also excited when we checked in with them today. We wanted to be able to share a little bit more and even some video to kind of explain some of the things that they did. So our lovely librarian, Caitlin Gillum, put together a little video with some voiceover from some of these students as well as some others about some of the things that they learn and enjoy at Washington Franklin as well.
At our school, learning is extra fun and full of teamwork. We feel safe and cared for and ready to learn every day.
In our classroom, learning looks different in lots of great ways. In Mrs. Voss's class, students use clues from the text to sort non-fiction and nonfiction with partners. This helps us think carefully and understand what we read. Students also explore nonfiction books on Epic, where we learn new facts and discover text features like headings, captions, and pictures. We write what we learn in our reading journals and share our thinking on the class anchor chart so everyone can learn together. At Washington Franklin, we love learning with our friends. In the library with Ms. Gillum, students use an inside-outside circle to talk about stories, listen to others, and share ideas. This helps us become better readers and better listeners.
In Miss Land's class, students practice hard words using movement. We also like to use stand up, hand up, pair up to find new partners to talk about our writing ideas with.
In Miss Stacy's class, students practice handwriting while doing word work on the carpet. Our teacher loves making us practice more than one thing at a time. This helps us build strong foundations for reading and writing in a calm and supportive classroom.
In Mrs. Moreland's class, we use a fun cooperative activity called the snowball fight. We share our ideas, listen to others, and have a fun outlet before work time. At Washington Franklin, learning is active and caring. Every day we are proud of our school, proud of our learning, and proud to be Washington Franklin Conquerors.
So definitely enjoy the learning. Like they said, sometimes they're pushed to do more than one thing at once, but it helps them grow and they do have some fun at it. Let's give one more big round of applause to our students for all their hard work. We're going to give you guys a pen to shake your hands. All right, next, Mrs. Jennifer Mentier is going to, or wait, am I first? Okay, I can go first, is that okay? All right, we'll do our featured teacher. I didn't see her there by the curtain, but it's our privilege tonight to introduce our featured teacher for this year. It's often said that students don't care how much they know until they know how much you care. In the world of education, we talk a lot about curriculum, benchmarks, and our data. But if you walk into a first grade classroom, you know that the most important metric of success is not on a spreadsheet. It's the feeling of safety, belonging, and love that a child feels when they walk through the door. I can't look at her while I do this because I'll probably end up crying. So today is my absolute privilege to present the Featured Teacher Award to someone who embodies that love every single day, Miss Kayla Gillum. Kayla is a teacher with a heart that is simply too big to measure. She has created a classroom environment where her first graders don't just learn to read and write, they learn that they are valued, they are safe, and most importantly, that they matter. We see this in big things, but mostly we see it in the quiet, unnoticed moments. Just the other day, she was up in the office, and we got to see a perfect example of her big heart. A super sweet student had arrived at school only to realize that her lunchbox had been left in her dad's car. Now, for a first grader, that's a big crisis, especially when she brings her lunch every single day. And with her dad working all the way in St. Louis, turning around to bring it back was not an option for them. Kayla didn't send the student to the cafeteria for a cheese sandwich. She didn't make a fuss. She simply hopped in her car, asked the student what she preferred, drove to Walmart, and brought that child a Lunchable, just like she always has in her lunchbox. She made sure that the student didn't feel forgotten, didn't feel hungry, and had her favorites, and didn't feel any different than any other day. That is what going above and beyond looks like. But her impact doesn't stop with the students. She brings that same joy and spirit of service to her team and to the entire building. She is the first to offer a helping hand, the first to volunteer when there's a need, and she does it all with the biggest smile that lights up the hallway. Perhaps what is most inspiring about Kayla, however, is her resilience. We all know that life can be heavy, and like many of us, she has faced her own personal struggles and hardships. Yet through it all, she has maintained a positive attitude that is nothing short of heroic. She shows up for her kids and her colleagues with a smile, demonstrating a strength of character that teaches us all a lesson of perseverance. For her unwavering kindness, her resilient spirit, and for being the heartbeat of our first grade classroom, I am honored to name Kayla Gillum as our featured teacher.
Miss Mackenzie Moss, will you come on up, please, so I can honor you? Tonight, we want to take a moment to recognize someone who brings joy, a sense of celebration, and literally vibrant colors to our school. Our Heartland hero is Mackenzie Moss, and we want to honor her for her consistent generosity, for being a valued member of our school community, and not only creating such fun and beautiful balloon arches, but also donating them for our school events. From the first day of school, like our back to school bash, our quarterly family nights, and our special celebrations, our balloon arches have become a symbol of excitement and welcome. They create the perfect backdrop for pictures, mark important milestones, and instantly let our students know that something special is happening. By donating her time and money to create these beautiful balloon pieces, it shows our students that their community cares about them, celebrates them, and wants their school experiences to be memorable. Because of this generosity, our events feel brighter, our entrances feel warmer, and our celebrations feel just a little more magical. On behalf of our students, staff, and families, thank you, Mackenzie, for sharing your time, talent, and resources with us. Your kindness does not go unnoticed, and your contributions truly make a difference. Please join me in giving a heartfelt thank you to Washington Franklin's Heartland hero, Mackenzie Moss, who helps us celebrate in style and reminds us what a strong community partnership looks like.
Okay, so hopefully you've had some time to look over the monthly financial report, which Crystal Hudson prepared for us. And then we have some information from MSBA. The board members engaged in a Missouri State School Board Association to direct the search for a superintendent. And in that process, Jenny Ulrich and Dr. Chris Wilson posted a survey, and that survey provided our community with a voice in our superintendent search. And they're here to give us the results of that survey.
Hello, good evening. My name is Jenny Ulrich, and I am a retired superintendent working as a liaison for Missouri School Board Association. And with me is, I'll let him introduce himself.
I'm Chris Wilson, a retired superintendent from the Kennett School District in Just thank you all for this opportunity.
So first of all, I don't want to go any further without saying how impressive, truly impressive your board meetings are. It's wonderful to see the amount of student engagement and student spotlights that are happening in your community. You can really get a sense of what this community is about, and seeing students from the high school all the way down to first grade coming up and presenting to the community that's here and present to watch them is truly impressive. So it's been an honor to be here, and I want to say, first of all, thank you for that honor. Second of all, let's dig into a little bit of the survey results that came back. First of all, to share a little bit about the process, as Ms. Hahn had mentioned, your district has engaged with Missouri School Board Association to help lead and facilitate your search. So one of the first things that the board wants to know is what is important to the community? What does the community want to see in our next superintendent? And so that is the spirit of the survey and the why behind it, the reason it was sent out. So we'll go over a few of the results. As you can see, there was 176 responses. The majority of the responses, the largest group, came from parents and guardians, which we would expect, and a close second being the certified teachers. Next slide, please. In the survey, we asked, what do you feel are some of the strengths of your school district? And although we don't have them all listed here, the entire survey results have been shared with the district, and they will be posted at the way they see fit, probably social media and the website, so that you can dig and see them all. But the ones that bubbled to the top that were repeatedly seen inside the survey is that you have a wide range of student programs, pathways, and opportunities. And we've heard about some of that tonight at your board meeting. A dedicated, caring staff and strong building level leadership. A strong sense of community, pride, and family culture. Student safety, well-being, and a whole child focus. All of which I feel like I've seen tonight at this board meeting. Next slide has a few quotes. I won't read them all to you. I'm just going to pick one out here. I'll go with the middle. The district is beautiful and full of pride, which spreads to students and families. There are teachers, administrators, and staff that have been in the district for some time. This is a family. Right? So you have a very strong sense of community in the Farmington community and school district, and that has bubbled to the top as something that's very important to continue in your community as you search for your next superintendent. Next, just like every district, there's always a challenge, and there's always multiple challenges. Your district's challenges did not look any different than most districts' challenges. Teacher compensation, retention, and staff support. I think it's wonderful the things that you're doing with the Maya program. I'm in that stage of life where I need readers, so I can't see you when I'm like this and I'm like this, so I apologize for all the back and forth. The Maya program and what you're trying to do is grow your own. That's a challenge across the state. It looks no different across the state than what it does in Farmington, but a very wise community to see that challenge and understand that that's something that you're up against right now, along with many districts across Missouri. Student behavior, discipline, and accountability. Again, something we see in many schools and communities. Academic rigor and instructional focus, right? Schools are for children, schools are for learning, right? That should be something that we always want to strengthen within our schools and communities. And then leadership, communication, and organizational trust. That's something that's very important to your community and to your school. Again, on the next slide, there's multiple quotes, and there's even more on the full report, so I encourage you to take a look at that. Again, I'm just going to go middle of the page here. Increasing consistency in instructional practices and assessments can support academic growth, right? So I love that some of the commentary focuses on what is the heart of the matter for a school district, which is about educating your children. Right? And so we always want to continue to strive to get better and better at educating our kids. Next slide. So for the board, and I know we've had conversation already, so I feel as though I know the answer to this, but your reaction to the themes, do you see anything on there that's been a surprise to you or outside of the discussions in the boardroom? I feel like it was a very good picture of the same discussion that we've had with the board around what's important. It's nice to see it reflected in your community's thoughts and in the survey results. Any comments? Don't feel like you have to. Okay, don't want to pass it over. Next piece, desired qualifications. So you were asked to choose your top 3 qualifications. So this first set is professional skill set. What are the top 3 professional skills that are important to the Farmington community as you look to hire a new superintendent? The number 1 qualification is effectively manage district resources. 46% of the individuals who took the survey felt that that was important in your next superintendent. Incredibly smart, incredibly insightful, right? It's a difficult time in public education, and nobody has a river of money running through their district. And so somebody that can effectively manage district resources is what's important to your community. Someone who can recruit, support, and retain effective staff members, and someone who fosters a positive culture and climate for teachers and staff. Both were equally important, with 43.2% of the respondents choosing that as one of their top 3 professional skills. Next slide. The next slide pertains to personal traits or qualities that you're looking for in a new superintendent. And easily at the top, overwhelmingly, is the desire for a candidate to be approachable, accessible, and welcoming. 62.5% of the individuals who took the survey responded that that's an important qualification in their mind. That goes along with being open to staff and community input, which came in second as a desired personal trait at 42%. And lastly, someone who demonstrates ethics and integrity is important to your community, with 40.3% of respondents choosing that as an important trait for your new superintendent. As you can see, there's lots of qualities there, and the next slide kind of gives you a culmination of the top 10. Of course, the top 6 were ones that we've already discussed. Number 7 comes in, exhibits transparent decision-making, follows through on tasks and responsibilities is number 8, possesses strong communication skills is number 9, and builds community and school relations is number 10. So how we will use this survey is that these desired characteristics will help guide the work throughout the search and will aid in the creation of interview questions throughout the process. So the board will take this survey and take the results of that, and that's